This guy right here, Alex Hermosi, you may know him, said the biggest lever you could pull in your business to make more money is to change your pricing. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I've been able to use content and pieces of media just like this to double my prices and still maintain the same growth rate of signing on clients. All right. You could literally double your income if you're selling coaching, if you're selling an agency service, a freelance service, whatever you're doing. If you're selling a service online, you could double your income by double your pricing. And I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think. And you could use media in these 5 ways to accomplish this. I'm going to dive right into this. The first one is personal branding. I know it's a cringe word. I know it's a little bit overused, but if we really break down how to charge more, so how do you charge more for your service? It's really increasing trust. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. It's increasing trust and it's increasing perceived value. Perceived value, which goes back to trust. All right. If someone trusts you, there's more of a perceived value in working with you. It's that simple. All right. So this is basically the baseline equation for charging more. All right. Increase the amount of money you could charge by increasing the trust a person has in you, by the perceived value, by what they think they're going to get in terms of ROI, etc. All right. Well, if you're taking a sales call, just take it for example. Let's say you take sales calls for your coaching or your agency service. If you're running an SMMA, whatever, right? If you take a sales call, this is you right here, happy because you're about to close a deal. You were talking to this person one-on-one, right? This person is getting to know you, your service, how good you are at what you do, what you talk about, how you sound, how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself, all this stuff, right? That is building trust with this person. So you are now building trust, this relationship, right? Now, if we take the same person and the exact same approach, right? Let's just copy this out here. If we do this, basically all content is and all personal branding is building trust at scale. So now, like I'm doing right now, this video is going to reach hundreds, hopefully thousands of people. I'm building trust at scale with multiple different people. P for people, right? And that's all it is. It's like I'm on a sales call. I'm just talking about what I know, talking about my expertise. I'm going over proof that I'm good at what I do because you can check the rest of my videos. I'm building up a vault of irrefutable evidence that I know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking to people and building trust at scale, right? This alone, building a personal brand and this concept will allow you to charge more. I know this isn't a specific piece of content. I'm going to get to the actual pieces of content you should make later on. But this is the basis of charging more based on personal branding and basing on content. You're able to nurture and build trust with people at scale all across the world, right? There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that know who I am. I don't know who they are because I've reached them and they're slowly getting nurtured. And some of them might pay me tomorrow. Some of them might pay me in 6 months. Some of them might pay me in a year, all right? I'm building these relationships at scale over time. And all I'm doing is building trust by showing people what I know, giving them actual value and tangible value that they can implement, and it will actually help them, and being real, right? Showing my personality, showing what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, right? We're all different there. So that is personal branding. That is actually how we're going to increase prices. It's simply by building trust at scale. All personal branding is using your personality and your expertise through media and building trust at scale and attention at scale as well. Okay. 2 is YouTube. So if you're new to this channel, I talk about YouTube in pretty much every one of my videos. We use YouTube and AI to basically book 30 to 40 sales calls a month. We're absolutely crushing it with this platform. I think it's the best platform ever to market online. Biased opinion there, but I think it's the data shows. YouTube allows people to gauge my personality. Again, if you're building trust, people have to know you. All right, now let's go over some of these other ones. So I actually typed these ones out here. If you want to go and market on X, LinkedIn, newsletter, all right? These are written platforms, all right? Or you go to short form, which is like basically Instagram and TikTok. These are short form content. And then you have YouTube, which is long form content, right? Now, of these, all of these are fine. All of these will sign you clients, etc., right? But YouTube is the only place that allows people to really gauge my authenticity, my personality, and how I handle myself for extended periods of time. All right. On Twitter and LinkedIn, I could just lie and fake all of this stuff, as people probably have in the past, because it's written. There's no way to hold me to my word here because you're just reading stuff, or you're not even seeing the person behind the screen most of the time. 2 is Instagram and TikTok. These are like glimpses of people's personality and what they could do in a short amount of time frame, which is fine. But YouTube, you are sitting down with the person, like you're sitting down with me for the next 10, 15 minutes, and we're going to talk about business. You're going to know what I know at the end of this, and you're going to learn who I am and how I operate, right? That is why you could build a trust. Like this is a trust building relationship right here. This is trust building. And again, guys, when you increase trust, we're going to accomplish the end goal of this video, which is charge more. You could charge more for your service. Charge more. All right. That's why YouTube works so well, is because of personality. All right. So if you could show your personality in your video, you will be really good. Another thing that you have to sort of think about is the relationship you have with the potential buyers, right? If you go on Instagram and you go on these platforms, you'll see coaches in specific running ads to find their ideal clients. And a lot of these people based down on the classic stuff, which is industry, which is niche, which is pain points. Some people also go down to their religion. They also go down to their state. They also go down to their gender, right? And their sexual preferences. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like there's coaches out there for every single niche. And I used to wonder, like, why would you ever run a coaching program specifically for, XYZ religion or XYZ gender? And then you realize you're going to find the people that you want to do by relatability and by proximity, basically, right? So I am a young man trying to make money online, and I'm making money online. By nature, I'm going to attract people in a similar mindset that are young men trying to make money online. That's just by nature who I'm going to attract because we are the same person on the same path with the same mindset. All right. So YouTube allows you, in long form in general, and really video media allows you to find your audience because they can see you, engage your personality. Hopefully that makes sense. Next time you see an ad online and it's like hyper specific, you're like, who's buying this person's stuff? I guarantee you, the more specific, the better they're doing with their sales conversions because they're finding that exact person that relates to the ad. That's when they get a buyer. All right. So gauging personality and being relatable and building trust with someone or, the audience that relates to you only increases trust, which means you could charge more money, which is point number 2. Then we have the content reinforcement loop. This one's more of a actual strategy. All right. So every single person here, they get a lead, they fulfill that lead, they get results. Hopefully you're getting results for your clients, get results, and then they use those to get another lead. Well, content sort of helps fuel all the fire because content gets you the lead. Content will actually get you the lead. All right. Then you'll fulfill, you'll get the results. And now instead of just putting these back in ads or whatever, you can now make these, and I'll go to this in a second, you could actually make content on your results that will drive more leads. So content sort of adds a different step. All right. That's one of the ways. Another one, content reinforcement, is basically, let's say you post 10 pieces or 5 pieces of content for this sake. So I post 5 different YouTube videos. Let's just say I go ahead and post one for one niche, one for another niche, etc. Right? I post 5 different YouTube videos. Now, what happens here is that these all videos will just perform differently. All right. Let's say this one does 3 out of 10 performance. This one does a 9 out of 10, gets a lot of views, gets a lot of leads. That's more important. If you want to know how to actually get leads and not just views from your content, join our free community down below. I show you how to use small YouTube channels to actually get leads and not just views, right? Views don't pay the bills, our clients do, right? This one does 5 out of 10. This one's 7 out of 10. And this one just let's say this one just completely flopped. That's 1 out of 10, right? Well, you are a person here and you're like, okay, well, I posted all of these and this one seemed to do really, really well. This one seemed to not do too really well. Well, let me double down on another one of these videos. So you go ahead and you make another one of these videos and it does well again. That might be an indication and a reinforcement of what this video is speaking on, and you might want to include that in your marketing. All right. That is the best way to get market feedback at some point because you're letting the algorithm carry the video to who is going to watch it. And the person that's going to watch it, which is ideally if you're doing targeting on YouTube, right, which I have a whole video about on my channel if you want to go check it out. If you're doing it right, your ideal leads are seeing your videos and your ideal leads are sticking with this video because they're watching it, they're getting impressions on it, they're getting the view time up on it as well. So if people like this video, it might be something you're like, well, maybe I should include this in my offer, in my copywriting. Maybe I should include this and make 2x the content on it, 2x content on it, right? So getting market feedback will allow you from these social media platforms, they will allow you to post more stuff and get feedback that you couldn't otherwise get, especially when you're starting. Like a lot of people say, don't start media right away. And I agree. Doing social media and personal branding, that's not the fastest way to get your first few clients, but it's also not something that's too bad because you could also get feedback from the algorithm. What's getting impressions, what's getting views, what's getting conversations kicked off, like what is actually getting engagement. This is a very good indication that people want it and people will buy it. All right. So content reinforcement loop is another big one. And then also we have client case study videos. So these are videos that if you have client case studies and you have wins from your clients, make this yesterday. make this today. Make this as soon as you possibly can because these absolutely crush. You can see we have a few clients, and the really cool thing is that they're in different niches. He has a Google Ads agency. She has an AI agency. She's in a different country. He's in a completely obscure, awesome niche here, which is like Upwork agency. This is another guy selling AI services. So I have different people from different backgrounds and different countries and different ethnicities, all winning with our service, and every single person sees it. So let's say another person that's running an AI agency comes along. Well, I could send this video to them, right? Because I'm like, hey, this guy Nick here, he was in a very similar position. You could hear it from him how we sort of helped him grow his channel and make more money. All right. Now they're going to relate, again, if you go back to relatability and making people relate with your content and thus trust you and thus you could charge more, they're going to see Nick and they're going to see Nick in themselves. So this is just my version of saying like, hey, we did it for someone that's exactly like you in the same position. We're going to do it for you as well. So this is a conversion that you could use, or this is a tactic you could use to increase your conversions. All right, it's insanely powerful, guys, and especially when you have a lot of them across industries and across different niches. It's pretty powerful what you could do. All right, so these case study videos are huge. If you want to break down on how to create case study videos that actually sign clients, let me know, and I can give you all the questions I ask. I can give you sort of the structure of these videos because you can go ahead and watch them. They'll be down in the description. They're always linked there. These are huge because when someone's in between working with you, let's say they're a 5 out of 10 of working with you, you could instantly show them one of these and they'll bump up to maybe a 7 out of 10. That's a huge increase in terms of the probability. That's a 20% increase in terms of the probability this person pays you a few $1,000s, which is insane, right? I can't tell you how many people show up to the sales calls and ask about Nick and ask about Nico and Jay, like ask about all these people and like, hey, do you think I get results like you? Do you think, how did you actually do this for him? Like everyone watches these videos, right? And another sneaky way is not only can you use them on YouTube, so you can use them on YouTube, you could use them in reminder sequences for sales calls. This will get people to show up. You could use them in landing pages. You could use them in websites. And we do all this, so it works. Instagram stories. And we're not doing this, but you could also put them in the bottom of some cold emails. This shouldn't hurt your deliverability too much, but there's a lot you could do. And again, these videos literally took me 30 minutes to make, and I could use them in this way and that way and this way and this way and this way and this way. It's the leverage on steroids, guys. Like this is literally having my clients get me more clients. All right. So it goes back to this sort of flywheel over here, which is you get a lead, you fulfill, you get them results, and then you make this type of content. So case study content. And then you could use these case studies to get you more clients. All right, that's the content reinforcement loop paired with the actual case study videos. Again, if you want a breakdown of how to use these case study videos, how to actually script them out, what questions to ask, what softwares to use, drop some type of comment down below. I'll be happy to make that video for you guys. All right, and the final one that we have is down here. Mutuals on Instagram. This is another niche one. But if you have an Instagram account, this is mine right here. You could go and you could see that I have a bunch of other people that are pretty established in their space. I have a bunch of them following me. All right. Mutuals are huge, right? So for example, let's say, think about your best friend right now. If your best friend vouched for someone, you would pretty much trust that that is a good person, right? Like, let's say you're looking for someone to fix your car. If your best friend came like, oh, Randy, that's my mechanic. He's the guy. He got you. You're just going to trust Randy off the bat because your best friend mentioned him. That's sort of how mutual work. Mutuals are super, super important because it's like your favorite creator that you're following, or one of your favorite creators, someone you look up to and trust, is following this person, automatically gives this person status. All right. So it's super important that you build up a following, network with other people. And the reason I leave this one last is because it's the hardest to achieve. So to actually have mutuals on Instagram, you have to have, or mutuals on any of these platforms, you actually have to be working towards something, have built something, or you have to have a personal brand. The reason I know these people is because I have a personal brand. All right, so this is something that you really need to optimize for, and if you have these, you would absolutely crush. This goes the same for LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. You can't really see mutuals too much, or podcasts is a good long form one. If you hop on podcasts with like popular creators, not even popular, I'm talking about people that have a niche following, right, within the realm of what you're operating in, it's really good for your rep. All right, so those are just a few 5 simple ways, really raw video. You guys could use small pieces of content and frameworks to actually increase prices. Again, all we're doing here is we're increasing trust. The more you can increase trust, the more people will actually want to pay with you because the perceived value of working with you is super, super high. I have videos just like this, and we actually use AI to basically create all of our content for us. So it's super automated. If you want a training on that, again, we have a free school community down below of exactly how we're able to do that. Some free templates you could grab as well. And if you want to know if we're actually making money with this, you can watch this video right here. It's how we made $12,000 in one day using these exact same frameworks and using content to sell for us. We've been able to increase our prices because of that. If you have any other videos you want me to create, feel free to drop them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.